Welcome to Pint Time with Backpacker Mike. Welcome back to Pint Time, episode 321. And today we're completely throwing out the guidebooks, okay? And we're not talking about the Eiffel Tower, the Grand Canyon, or the identical Instagram backdrops that everyone stands in line for 2 hours to shoot. Instead, we're diving into the weird. We're diving into the obscure and the deeply local. We're talking about pioneer ruins swallowed by forests, bizarre roadside monuments, and historical secrets hiding right under your nose. So grab a pint of whatever you have. Today is a throwback episode for me today. Grab a pint of whatever you have. Hit the share button. And let's get into it as soon as we get some people on. It's funny. I'm afraid Yoshi just sent me a message. Let me just send this out to a couple people right quick. Alright, that'll be good enough. So anyway, make sure you share the live. Wow, okay. Wasn't expecting that to happen. We're having some technical difficulties on the set today. I tried to load it up and tag Destination Brews in it, but apparently I need to go to Destination Brews page and make it so that we can share it or tag them. Or tag my page. Anyway, so first let's talk about some craft beers now. I do not have craft beers today, per se. I have a bit of a throwback episode. Mostly because I haven't been able to make it to Total Wines to find some other craft beers. And so I just grabbed what I could out of the fridge that I had for various other things and videos that I did. So anyway, while we do that, I put some comments below. What was one of the most overcrowded tourist traps that you have ever visited? For those of you on the replay, since nobody is on quite yet, let me know what some of the most crowded touristy traps that you ever visited, and was it actually worth the hype? Let me know, and I will read some of them off live if they are there, and if not, I will respond to them if you leave them in the comments after the live show. Now, let me tag. It's so funny, I can tag Jordan. I'm just tagging away over here. Huh. I was just curious what would pop up. Anyway. Alright. So I'm going to wait a few minutes just to see if anybody jumps on. But I will show you some of the throwback beers. Now, it is really hot in here today. It is extremely hot in here today. And so these things are sweating profusely. But they're still semi-cold. Let me see if I can adjust this just slightly. maybe that. This might help a little bit. Ah, that does help a little bit. Well, that ain't good. I didn't even touch that. I don't know. Hopefully it stays running, but we will see. Sometimes that thing is sketchy. Ugh. All right, so let's just get into the beers that I have to try for you guys today. Also, real quick, this episode is sponsored by Destination Brews. I got to keep pushing my coffee brand here. Destination Brews. You can check it out at destinationbrews.com. This is a turtle flavored coffee, you know, like the turtle candy. And I do also have coffee with mushrooms. It has lion mane, cordyceps, and reishi mushrooms, etc., etc. They also have little holes here at the top where you can smell how good it smells, I should say. So good. The turtle smells like chocolate because, you know. So anyway, yeah, check it out at destinationbrews.com. This is not like some cheap coffee. These are premium single origin coffees and also blends. I have coffees and teas from all over the world, so check them out. Right now, you can get 30% off with the code DBAGC. That's DBAGC. I saw one person pop on and now they're gone. So, at any rate, that's what we're going to do. Today is a bit of a throwback beer episode. So what I got right here is a Mickey's Big Mouth. For those of you in the United States, you know what a Mickey's Big Mouth is. It is a throwback. The other throwback I got is a PBR Light, Pabst Blue Ribbon Light. The other throwback I've got is a Rolling Rock Extra Pale Ale. That's another throwback, and this is the only one that is not a throwback. However, I included it in this because the bottle is a throwback, and I have never seen this beer before until recently around here. And I've seen a few people do some reviews on it, and they loved it. And this is the Garage beer, and it's in this throwback like 1960s, 70s beer bottle, which is really cool. And so we're going to crack into those. So I guess we will just get into it. So I am going to start off with the Pabst Blue Ribbon just for the heck of it, because I want to wait and see if some other people get on and we can do some of the other throwbacks. So PBR me ASAP. This is a PBR Light, 96 calories, only 3.5 carbs. That is perfect, right up my alley. We're not even going to do a regular taste on these things. We're just going to let it rip in the can and pour it out and drink it and start the show. That's what we're going to do. But it is a beautiful, light, crisp beer. I have actually had every one of these at this point. But there we go. Nice, light, crisp Pabst Light. If you guys can find this, highly recommend giving it a try. It's a very light lager. Think of like a Michelob Ultra, but with a little bit more body than a Michelob Ultra. Yes, I say yes. All right, now let's get into this thing. I know there were some people that were going to get on, and I just messaged Josie. Let me message him again. Yoshi might be the only one who gets on here. Well, anyway, we're going to get it started. Pabst Light, definitely a good beer. I think I actually like that better than the regular PBR. So let's get in episode 321. Some of the obscure spots missing from the guidebooks. And the first one I want to talk to you about, I am going to totally mess up the name. However, it is Gjirokastor, Albania, or Gjirokastor, Albania. But anyway, ditch the crowded Greek islands and head north to the rugged, steep Ottoman stone towns of the Balkans. That's right. I was up in northern Greece. I was pretty close to the Balkans. It is really beautiful up there. Now, the hidden history here is known as the Stone City. This entire town features a massive 17th century Ottoman fortress houses. Below the towering Gjirokastor Fortress lies a vast secret Cold War underground tunnel network built during the country's paranoid communist era. In Albania. The daily budget here is going to be about $40 to $60 a day. Now, you could do it a little bit cheaper than that if you would like, but the accommodations will run you about $18 to $28 a night for a stay inside an actual centuries-old stone house converted into a boutique hotel or bed and breakfast ran by a family. So, pretty cool. I would almost rather stay in the bed and breakfast ran by a family, so you can hang out with some locals. Food will run you about $10 to $15 a day. Try gifki. Gifki, which is a traditional baked rice ball seasoned with mint. They are only unique to this town in Albania. And the Birik. I had Birik when I was in Slovenia, and it was delicious. But basically, Birik is savory pastry sheets filled with wild greens or cheese. I actually had a pizza one. Just had a little pizza sauce, a little meat, and some mozzarella cheese, and it was delicious. It's actually in one of my videos from Slovenia when I did a little food review there. So, drinks will cost you about $4 to $8 per day. Sip on a crisp Korka or Elbar beer in the old bazaar, or try Rakia if you're feeling bold, which is basically a fruit-forward brandy, and it comes in at about 40% on the ABV, or the Richter scale, as I say. Now, what else to see here? Hike up to the old Ottoman clock tower. Explore the old abandoned military planes rotting on top of the castle walls, and make a quick trek to the nearby ancient ruins of Antigona. So there you go. Albania, number 1. Which, by the way, I tried the vlogging camera today for a little bit, just to see how it would go. And I'm going to have to set that thing, like, pretty far away from me, to be honest. It's going to have to be pretty far away, plugged into my laptop. But I'll see if I can't work it out somehow to get in here this week and see if I can't figure something out. All right, next one on the list, Brasov, Romania, a.k.a. Transylvania. You know, the folklore around Transylvania, that's where Dracula was started by Bram Stoker, who grew up in the area and ran around these old ruins when he was young in the 1800s, I believe it was. But avoid the cliche, Disney-fied commercial traps and explore authentic medieval Saxon defense history. Now, the hidden history here, while tourists line up for hours to see Bran Castle, the fake Dracula castle, basically, the guy who lived there, they used to call him Count Dracula, I believe. But basically, I think it was the Ottomans that were attacking him. But him and his army destroyed like 500 of the Ottoman, I believe it was Ottoman soldiers at the time. And he decapitated them all and put their heads on spikes around the castle and on spikes throughout the forest to scare any other armies away that may want to invade him. And thus he became Vlad the Impaler, which then translated to Dracula by Bram Stoker. So anyway, there you have it. Brasov holds the real medieval treasure, which is the Weaver Bastion and the ancient fortifications built to hold off Mongol and Ottoman sieges. So yes, it was the Ottomans. I thought it was the Ottomans back in the day. But yes, it was the Ottomans who attacked him. And so, yeah. And the Mongols, obviously, led by Genghis Khan, who had one of the largest empires of the time. Now, the daily budget here is going to be about $50 to $70 a day. Your accommodations are going to run you about $20 to $30 a night for Clean Central Old Town guest rooms and traveler flats. The food here will run you about $15 to $22 a day. Hearty portions of sarmale, which is pork stuffed cabbage rolls. I can get into that. And mamaliga. But anyway, it's traditional polenta, which I had some traditional polenta when I was in Croatia. And it was really good. If you're not familiar with polenta, it is made from corn. And it's actually really good. So yeah, the polenta is really good. Good idea there. And that will keep you full for hours of walking and exploring around the town. Now, drinks, let's talk about drinks. They'll cost you about $6 to $12 a day. Romania has an explosive craft beer scene. Grab a pint of Zagahu, or Hop Hooligans, or sample traditional plum brandy called Tuika, if you are so brave to do so. It runs about 40% ABV. So there we go. Let's move on to the other one. You guys like the shirt here? Man, what a day. Anyway, it has been what a day, and it has been hot. Also, next week's show is going to be postponed, obviously, because it will be July 4th here in the United States. It will be our 250th anniversary since we became the United States of America. So, I will probably do the show on next Friday. And I also have books I have to drop off that week and probably the next week. But at any rate, I will probably do the show, as of right now, probably do the show on Friday. And it will be relatively early on a Friday, maybe like 2:30. All right, let's move on from Romania and let's go to Kutaisi, Georgia. And I'm not talking about the state of Georgia here in the United States. I'm talking about the country of Georgia in Eastern Europe. Skip the popular capital of Tbilisi and head to one of the oldest continuously inhabited cities in all of Europe. Now, the hidden history here, Kutaisi is legendary land of the Golden Fleece from Greek mythology. It's home to the Gelati Monastery, a stunning 12th century academic compound containing magnificent, vibrant frescoes that survived centuries of foreign invasions. Now, your daily budget here is going to be about $35 to $55 a day. Not horrible, and your accommodations will run you about $12 to $20 a night for welcoming local family stays or budget guest houses. So you could stay in Georgia for pretty cheap. The food here will run you about $10 to $16 a day. Freshly baked khachapuri, which is basically a decadent cheese-filled bread, bread and cheese, absolutely. And khinkali, which is a massive spiced meat broth dumpling. So very filling, wholesome, hearty foods, and you can easily feast for under $6 US. Your drinks here will run you about $4 to $8 a day. Georgia is the cradle of wine history. Try local amber wines fermented in clay jars called kaviri. Or sample a local Nakatari beer, which I'm assuming is probably a Pilsner or something like that. That would be my guess. Now, what else to do and see here? You want to explore the bizarre, retro, Soviet, abandoned sanatoriums and spas in nearby Skatubo, Tskaltubo, Sakubo. Anyway, walk across the white stone paved bridges and hike through the Prometheus cave system. Sounds like a really exciting journey there. In Georgia, the country, not the state, by the way. We are going to blow through this episode. All right, let's go on to the next one. And the next one is located in the Philippines. Get away from the hyper-commercialized, crowded beaches of Boracay and step onto the island of myth in Sacajor Island in the Philippines. The hidden history here, known to the Spanish as Isla del Fuego. Isla del Fuego. In Spanish, isla is island, by the way. So it is known as the island of fire, because in Spanish, fuego is fire or hot. Caliente is hot too, but fuego, fire. Island of fire, due to the eerie glow of millions of fireflies. How cool is that? Millions of fireflies. I love fireflies. We get fireflies up north a lot. When I lived and grew up in Ohio, we got a ton of fireflies up there. And so, yeah, the fireflies in the trees here in Sacajor. It's also famous throughout the Philippines for its rich history of folk healing, shamanism, and local sorcery. So you can check out some local sorcery. Now, your daily budget here is going to cost you about $40 to $60 US, which is not bad. Again, accommodations, $15 to $25 a night for a bamboo beach cabin or an eco hostel tucked away in the jungle. Definitely would want to stay there for sure. Your food will run you about $10 to $15 a day. Freshly caught grilled seafood, so hopefully you're into seafood because you can get your fill of it there. Kinalaw, which is basically Filipino-style ceviche cooked in coconut vinegar. So they use vinegar and probably lime or lemon and something else. And sweet mangoes with sticky rice. Mango sticky rice is really good. It's kind of like a dessert. Now your drinks here Your drinks here will run you about $4 to $8 a day. Drink a San Miguel Pale Pilsen on the sand, or try a local tuba, which is fermented coconut palm wine. I have never had fermented coconut palm wine, so I am not sure how that would taste, but I would imagine it would be fairly sweet and slightly funky. I've had many of my share of San Miguel as I was traveling. Hey, Sharon! Good to see you on. Yeah, I know, that's what I said. Where is everyone? Yoshi and I were literally just messaging before I got on the show, and I haven't heard back from him. He said he was going to get on the show. He said, I will join the show. And I'm like halfway through all of my stuff. So yeah, Sharon, I was asking the same question. But that's all right. When I finish up the show, I'll hang out a little bit longer and see if anybody else jumps on. And if they do, then fine. And we can chat. How are you doing, Sharon? Good? I'm doing throwback beers today, by the way, Sharon. And since you're on, you can pick the next one that I do. Now, the first one that I did was a PBR, Pabst Blue Ribbon Light. They're actually really good. I squeezed the can and threw it away already. So the other throwback beers I have, Sharon, are these. And you can pick the next one for me to try. I have a Rolling Rock Pale Ale. I remember those as a kid. I definitely remember these as a kid. And I have a Mickey's Big Mouth malt liquor. And this one, however, is not a throwback per se. This is a new one that sort of came out. However, it's in a throwback bottle, so I added it to the list. And that is this Garage Beer. Sharon, you probably remember these beer bottles from the 60s and 70s. But this Garage Beer with lime just came out, and they have a regular and they have a lime one. So you can pick. I was fishing and just got home. Awesome. Did you catch anything good? Hopefully you caught something good. Hopefully. I'm not doing too bad. Not doing too bad. Always could be better, but I'm not doing too bad. So yeah, I have the Garage Beer, the Rolling Rock, or the Mickey's Big Mouth. Throwback for me, Gen Xer here. So Sharon, you could pick which one you would like me to try next. I hate that they put that boost button. That won't even load. That boost button right where it shows me who's on. So anyway, hopefully you caught something good. And I will wait until you pick which one I try next. The Garage Beer, the Rolling Rock, or the Mickey's Big Mouth. Which one I do next? I already just finished up the PBR Light. It is super hot here today, too. Even though it's overcast out. But anyway, let's talk about the next one, and that is Anuradhapura, Sri Lanka. Hopefully I said that right. But while casual tourists pack the southern beaches, head deep into the cultural triangle to explore ancient jungle ruins. Rolling Rock. All right, let's do the Rolling Rock. Oh my! I don't want to open that one anytime soon. I feel like something else fell off of there. All right, let's crack into this Rolling Rock. I'm just kind of going along and drinking them as we go, so I'm going to pour them all out. I've already done every one of these on TikTok before, so I don't have to save them. However, the Rolling Rock is still a great throwback beer, and it's super inexpensive. It gets a nice beer head on there, though. Even when you don't do a hard pour. You have to let that settle a little bit. While we continue to talk about Sri Lanka. The hidden history here is the ancient capital of the first kingdom of Sri Lanka, founded in the 4th century BC. 4th century BC. Crazy to think. Vast, massive brick stupas rise higher than the surrounding forest canopies, marking a city that ruled for over a millennium before being swallowed by the wild. So if you're not familiar with stupas, stupas are in Buddhist religion, basically, and the stupa signifies your levels of enlightenment all the way up to the top, and when you reach the top of enlightenment, you are enlightened like Buddha, and you see life very differently. I used to be that way. I used to be really heavy into it and doing a lot of meditation and things like that, and I actually had many situations where I became enlightened on certain levels, and it was amazing, and I really need to get back to that, and I will eventually. But anyway, here we go. Cheers. Like I said, Rolling Rock is still a great throwback beer. Light, refreshing, still has some body to it, a little bit of hoppiness at the end. But it is a really good throwback beer, and it is super inexpensive. To honor the tradition of this great brand, we quote from the original pledge of quality from the glass-lined tanks of Old Latrobe Brewing Company. We tender this premium beer for your enjoyment as a tribute to your good taste. It comes from the mountain springs to you. And it's really good. Anyway, Rolling Rock. Very good. All right, let's have on the daily budget here in Sri Lanka. Will cost you about $33 to $55. Oh boy. Guess I need more beer. Your daily budget here will run you about $35 to $55 a day. Thank you for the hearts and the likes. Truly appreciate it. So I'm trying not to cough. Accommodations here will run you about $12 to $22 a night for small family-run jungle lodges or basic backpacker guest houses. Your food will run you about $7 to $12 a day for incredible Sri Lankan rice and curry meals, usually featuring 5 to 6 different vegetable curries and crisp egg hoppers. So I love curries, but if people don't love curries, they'd have to find something else to munch on. But drinks here will run you about $3 to $7 a day. You could sip fresh king coconuts from roadside stands or street vendors, or grab a cold Lion lager in the evening if you would like to get a lager. Lion Lager, I think, is their local beer. I'm just not. Maybe not. I feel like I've had a Lion Lager, and I feel it's like not from Sri Lanka. I don't know. But anyway, you caught just little ones, huh? Dad and I used to go fishing all the time. We used to go bass fishing in Tennessee. I miss those days. Very much so. Something I could always look forward to every year. Going to Tennessee with Daddy-O since I was 13 years old. And going and do some fishing and staying at Mariners Point, Thunder Hollow, Lake Tansy. We would go bass fishing. That was our thing. We go bass fishing. But one day a week we would go pan fishing and we would catch crappie, perch, bluegill, striped bass, etc. And we would clean them all and fry them up with some fresh snap beans and various other things, and have a meal that night during the week. Now, what else to see here in Sri Lanka? You want to rent a basic bicycle to pedal through the sprawling miles of sacred ruins, sit in the Jaha Sri Maha Bodhi, which is basically the oldest documented tree in the world, planted in 288 BC, and climb the nearby sacred peak of Mehintale. Now, the Bodhi tree is very sacred when it comes to Buddhism. This is supposedly where the first Buddha sat under and meditated for 40 days, etc. He was actually the son of the king at the time, and he wasn't allowed outside of the castle walls. And then he snuck out and he found out all the poverty and people hurting and etc. And he was the one who basically created Buddhism, which Buddhism is not really a religion. It's a philosophy based around nature, and, the love of other human beings. Buddhists are some of the most peaceful people, loving people that you will ever meet in your life. Absolutely. So, Buddhism stretched from India to Sri Lanka to Southeast Asia to Japan and various other countries. Threw them back in the lake. Yeah, they're small ones. Just got to throw them back in. Where'd y'all go fishing at? I'm just curious. I know Dad and his brothers and your dad used to all go fishing at Atwood. I think it was Atwood Lake. Yeah, I think it was Atwood Lake. That was near Mineral City, where they were all from. Mineral City. Boy, that is a small city. All right, so the next one I have for you is the Orkney Islands in Scotland. Scotland. I really, really wish that I could have hooked up with the Tartan Army while they were here in the United States. They had an amazing time in Boston. They had a great time in Miami. Unfortunately, they lost 2 games, and the goal differential put them out of the World Cup. So that sucks. I was hoping they'd be able to go on to Mexico City. However, when everything shook out and got a few other teams score 3 goals, 4 goals, 5 goals, it beat them in the point differential, unfortunately. So, Atwood Lake. Yes, Atwood. I know Atwood. Atwood Lake. So, anyway, unfortunately, Scotland is heading back home. They have like a 0.01% chance of making it after the next cut, and they're probably not going to make it, so they are all heading back home. But they had an amazing time here. A lot of the Tartan Army videos I saw uploaded, they had an amazing time here. They really enjoyed their time in Boston, especially. It was a very cool city for them, and there's a lot of Scots and Irish that live in Boston as well, so they probably felt like they were right at home. So anyway, leave Edinburgh and the Isle of Skye behind. Now, I really loved Edinburgh when I went to Edinburgh. We say Edinburgh, but over there it's Edinburgh. I really enjoyed Edinburgh when I was over there. So it's kind of hard to say leave Edinburgh behind. But either way, head to the far northern tip of Scotland, where Viking and Neolithic history collide. The hidden history here is Orkney boasts the heart of the Neolithic Orkney, a UNESCO area featuring the Ring of Brodgard, Stone Circle, and Saqqara Brae, a stone-built Neolithic village that is older than both the Great Pyramids of Giza and Stonehenge. It is older than that. Yeah, they all loved our food. The Texas barbecue they loved, and a bunch of other things. It was the barbecue. It was the good, like, craft burgers, and various other things. But yeah, they absolutely loved it. So these ruins are preserved beautifully beneath sand dunes for thousands of years in Orkney Islands. Now, I actually wanted to go to the Orkney Islands. It didn't work out. It's very desolate. It's a little hard to get to. You have to fly into a certain spot, then take a little like puddle jumper plane to get over there. They don't really have like a big airport or anything like that. To get from island to island, you got to kind of use ferries and various other things, and the North Sea can be kind of rough. So it is a bit of a hard destination to get to. However, from what I've heard, it is pretty amazing. Now, the daily budget here will run you about $75 to $105 a day, so you don't want to stay there for very long, maybe 3 to 5 days. But it's a bit higher due to the island logistics, basically. They have to have a lot of their stuff imported in. And so, yeah, the ranch dressing, they love the ranch dressing. That was so funny. I saw them putting ranch dressing on almost everything. Which is what we sort of do here if you love ranch dressing. Which, by the way, if you haven't tried ranch dressing on pizza, it's definitely a go-to. Dip your pizza in ranch dressing. You won't if you like ranch dressing, you won't be disappointed. I definitely dip the crust in the ranch dressing. And it's funny because, like, thank you for the hearts. It's funny because very rarely do I get ranch dressing on my salad. Like, I get it on my salad if there's no other really good options, but normally I go for like balsamic vinaigrette or a traditional Italian dressing or something like that. I prefer like the oily dressings, if that makes sense, on my salads than I do the creamy dressings. But if the only option I have is ranch, then I'll go with ranch. But absolutely love salads. I could eat salads all day long, honestly. But yeah, I love ranch. I love the ranch flavored wings that they have at Walmart, believe it or not. Sometimes they aren't the best, but other times they are pretty good. It's just a dry seasoning packet. You can do it at home. Just make your own wings at home in the air fryer. Toss them in a bowl with some of that ranch dry packet seasoning with a little bit of butter while they're still hot. Mix it all around. Perfecto. Muy perfecto. They're taking spices home now. Yeah, they're probably taking a lot of the rubs home for the barbecues and stuff, because I know they really love the spices on the barbecue. For sure. Yeah, it's definitely good. I love wings. I could eat wings all day long, and I could eat salad all day long. It's like big salads. I love like tuna and chicken on my salads, cheese. But dried cranberries on a salad is phenomenal. Maybe some candied walnuts or something like that. Pecans, however you want to say it. Sometimes I say pecans, sometimes I say pecans. But I asked my friend Robin, who's from Georgia, and she said they're called pecans. But Kim she said they're called pecans. But Kim, that's what it was. She calls them pecans, but Kim calls them pecans. And I always laugh when people say pecans, and I'm like, where's the pecan at? Because I got to pee. But sometimes I say pecan, sometimes I say pecan, kind of like tomato, potato, roof, and roof. You too, huh, Sharon? That's funny. So anyway, yeah, it's a bit expensive to stay here, but if you go on a minimalist budget and use local buses, etc., it will be okay. Just for a couple days. It's definitely worth it. Your accommodations will be about $30 to $45 a night. Not horrible. A night for a cozy, historic independent hostels or local bunkhouses there. To give you a reference, we went over to the beach the other day to visit my sister Robin, and we got a place right on the beach, and it was like $216 for a night. So if you can go stay in the Orkney Islands for $30 to $45 a night, you could stay there for 3 or 4 nights for the same amount of price I paid over on the West Coast. Thanks for the hearts. Yeah, absolutely. So it is, I've said this to everybody since I've traveled the world, and I will continue to say it. It is literally cheaper to travel the world than it is to stay at home. By far. That $600 to $1,500 a month you're spending on rent, you can go stay somewhere exotic place for like half of that. You could go stay in Thailand and find an apartment on a 6-month lease for like $300 a month. I mean, it's super inexpensive to travel if you've got a little bit of money to do so, and you can find other ways to save, to save your money so that you can stretch it a little bit further. You don't have to eat like a king every night. You don't have to drink like a king every night. You can eat minimalist meals, filling meals that are still healthy for you. You can stay in cheap places because, think about it, you're out exploring all day. So who cares where you're staying? As long as there's no bugs and it's got a comfortable bed and you can get, 5, 6, 7 hours of sleep, who cares? When I was in Greece, I stayed in what I called the hooker hotel. I mean, this was a sketchy hotel. I had my own room with a balcony where I could overlook the street below. The shower was in the hallway. However, it was my own shower, so my room key opened that shower door. I had a sink in my room so I can brush my teeth, but I didn't have a bathroom or anything. So every time I had to use the bathroom, I had to get up and leave my room. But luckily, my bathroom that had my key that worked was like right next to my room, so you didn't really have to go very far. But I stayed in Athens, Greece, for like 4 or 5 nights for like $120. I mean, you can't beat it. I was out exploring all day. I'd get back to the hotel at like midnight. I'd stay up till 1 or 2 in the morning editing videos out on the balcony and watching people go by and chatting with people from the balcony and whatnot. And then I'd go to sleep. I'd wake up at 7 or 8, 9 o'clock the next morning, get my shower, get some breakfast, and head out exploring for the whole day. So as long as I had a comfortable place to sleep, I didn't care. Thanks for the hearts again, cuz. Appreciate it. Food here will run you about $20 to $30 a day. Traditional Scottish oat cakes, which are basically like pancakes, but they're made with oats. Fresh local cheeses and comforting bowls of Coolhan or Coolin skink, which is basically a thick smoked fish chowder. So they smoke the fish, and when you smoke the fish, it becomes a little bit more dense, a little bit more pliable, so it lasts in the soup. And you get a really good soupy broth with some veggies and the good smoked fish in there. I do like fish soup sometimes, as long as it's a fish that is going to stick together. Now, your drinks here will run you about $8 to $15 dollars a day. Visit the legendary Swanee Brewery for award-winning local ales, or try a dram of Scapa. A dram is basically like a small rocks glass or a shot. A dram of Scupa, or Highland Park single malt whiskey. So I would definitely try the single malt whiskey. That sounds pretty good. Give a little sippy sip of that. Now, what else is there to see and do in the Falkland, or I'm sorry, in the islands there, the Courtney Islands? Or Orkney Islands. Sorry, I'll get it right. Tour the incredible Italian chapel. It's a beautiful chapel built entirely out of scrap metal and concrete. And who was it built by? Italian prisoners of war in World War II. Now, I wouldn't want to be in that chapel if, say, it's thunderstorming outside, because it's made of metal and concrete. You're probably going to get a little bit of a charge at that service, I would imagine. But it was built by the Italians in World War II, prisoners of war, and watch the wild North Sea crashing into the cliffs of Hoy. If you haven't seen any pictures of the Orkney Islands, it's literally like large granite cliffs, and the ocean smacks into the cliffs consistently. It's a beautiful scene there for sure, which is why I sort of wanted to go, but just ran out of time. I wanted to go to Scotland, from Edinburgh, to the Orkney Islands, and then to Iceland. However, ran out of time. Thank you for the hearts. I really need to get out there and travel again. I'm just saying. Really got to get out there and travel again. I'm going to do some few travel videos around here in Florida in the coming months. And I may do some close trips like Puerto Rico, U.S. Virgin Islands, something like that. I've been working with my new vlogging camera I have. This guy. And I've been working with my drone, which I'm going to get out and work with that again tomorrow. My second drone I've got, so I've got 2 drones now. But the second drone I got is like a follow me drone, so it's kind of cool. It gives some cool shots. So yeah, I'm going to be doing a fair amount of travel videos around here in Sebring, and then I will be doing some 2-day trips here and there around Florida, and then who knows from there. But come February, I hope to be in good enough shape to be able to do the Appalachian Trail. That's my thought process right now. But I would really love to do the Camino again as well. So I don't know. We shall see. All right, number 2 on the list, San Antonio, Texas. I have actually been to San Antonio, Texas. Absolutely love it. All right, Sharon, since you're the only one on, you get to pick what I try next. Is it going to be the Mickey's or is it going to be the Garage Beer? Mickey's or Garage Beer? Sharon, you get to pick every beer I try today. Well, the first 3 anyway, because there's 4. Forget Austin or Miami pricing. San Antonio offers deep, rich, pioneer, and multicultural history for an incredible value. Now, you can see my San Antonio episodes when I traveled to San Antonio. I think I had 2 or 3 episodes in San Antonio. You can see those on my YouTube if you go under playlist. And you scroll down till you see San Antonio. Then you will see my videos for San Antonio, and it is really amazing. I got a hotel there not far from the airport, and my good friend Connie took me around all over San Antonio. That was my second time being in San Antonio. No, just the little ones. No, just the little ones. Which ones are you talking about? The little ones. Oh, you're talking about something else. I was asking about the bear. The bear. Which one you want me to do? Mickey's or Garage Beer? You get to pick the last one because the next one is the only one I'd have left. Now, the hidden history here, everyone remembers the Alamo, and everybody wants to go to the Alamo, which I did. And the Alamo is super cool to go see. Not exactly what I had expected. It's like right in the middle of downtown. There's a bus stop in front of it. It's kind of crazy, but it's still there. But everyone remembers the Alamo. But the real hidden gems are the other 4 San Antonio missions. The names of those missions were Concepcion, San Jose, San Juan, and Espada. They were built in the early 1700s along the river, and these stone outposts represent the incredible complex intersection of Spanish and native Cahutecan history, which is basically the native Indians. I was talking about the fish. Yeah, I would toss the little ones too. All right, let's see. Which one do I want to do next? Garage Beer. I was just about to say Garage Beer. Do the Garage Beer. Do the Garage Beer, they said. We got to get out the Guinness. Oh, never mind. It is a turn one. Or is it? It is. It's a turn one. Nice. I didn't need the Guinness bottle opener. The Garage Beer. Lime. Again, this is a new brand that came out. I just picked it up the other day. I did a TikTok about it yesterday or day before. It was actually really good. It has very good lime on the nose. It's almost like fresh squeezed lime, so I'm assuming that they used fresh squeezed lime. This is so good. I mean, literally so good. Let's do a hard pour on it. It's got to be a light ale, I'm assuming. It doesn't say whether it's an ale. It just says small batch brewed, classic lime beer. It doesn't say whether it's a lager or an ale, but it doesn't have very strong bready notes on it, which would tend to lead me to believe that it's a lager. It's got real light sort of notes, so more than likely it's an ale. It doesn't say it on the bottle. But the hard pour is good. I mean, it's super light, 4% on the Richter scale, 95 calories, so it's like a ultra Michelob Ultra Lime. It's on that level, and it's very good. Highly recommend that. I would definitely give that one like an 8. Absolutely. Just light, refreshing, 4%. Great beach beer. Something out of the beach, lake, or when you're out fishing, Sharon. But you probably don't drink beer, I'm assuming. Now, your daily budget here in San Antonio is going to run you about $65 to $95 a day. Again, we're talking about being in the United States, so it's a little bit more expensive, but your accommodations will only run you about $25 to $45 a night for budget boutique stays or historic central hostels. They do have some hostels in and around the San Antonio area. Your food will run you about $15 to $25 a day. And you will get unmatched, authentic Tex-Mex street tacos, which I had that were amazing. Fresh homemade flour tortillas. I like the flour tortillas. However, I do prefer the corn tortillas when I'm talking about street tacos. And slow smoked brisket from local joints outside the tourist areas. Now, I did go to a barbecue joint outside the tourist areas called 3M Brewing, or 3M Barbecue. I had my friend Connie take me over there to that barbecue joint, and I paid for her and I to have lunch, and I got a barbecue sampler platter. So I had the sausage, I had some brisket, I had some pulled pork, I had, I think, smoked chicken. There was like 4 or 5 things, plus I think I got a beef rib, and, you know, baked beans, coleslaw, all that type of stuff. But for her and I to eat there, it was like $250 or something like that. It was just massively expensive. However, the barbecue was super amazing. Very good. 3M Barbecue just outside San Antonio. If you ever go there, highly recommend giving that a try. It's expensive. They basically only bring in so much brisket. They smoke so many pork butts, so many chickens, etc. So as they run out, they run out. And when they run out of everything, they close down for the day. But the barbecue is amazing. I would definitely go back there again. Now, your drinks here in San Antonio will cost you about $8 to $15 a day. Grab a Texas-sized craft beer from local spots like Freetail Brewing Company or Southerley Brewing Company. What else to see and do here? You can rent a bike and pedal the Mission Trail, which is the dedicated path connecting all of the historic missions that I had mentioned before. Explore the vibrant historic art district at El Mercado, which is basically the market, and stroll the quieter northern sections of the Riverwalk. So you want to go like north of the Riverwalk. The Riverwalk in San Antonio is just covered with restaurants and everything else. Funny thing is the Riverwalk in San Antonio was a river that I forget what was it, off the Colorado River, the San Antonio River? I can't remember, but they basically created an offshoot of the river back in the 1700s so that they could have freshwater flow into San Antonio to supply the missions with water, drinking water. And so that is now the San Antonio Riverwalk, or the San Antonio River. So it was actually man-made. But as time progressed, they built all of these places up around the river there. I had some amazing tacos and a Mexican Tex-Mex feast there right on the San Antonio River while I was there. It was really good. But yeah, you want to head north of that if you want a more like subtle sort of experience. Thank you for the hearts. I appreciate it, Sharon. Now let's move on to the last one that I have for you, and that is Sarajevo, Bosnia and Herzegovina. Bosnia and Herzegovina, Sarajevo. Sarajevo, back in the 90s, went through a huge civil war. It was when Clinton was president. Boris Yeltsin, I think, was the president of the territories at the time, like Yugoslavia and various other places. And we got involved because of the ethnic cleansing of the Muslims that were going on there, et cetera, et cetera. So there's some war history there from the early 1990s, right after I graduated high school. Yeah, it was pretty expensive. It was pretty expensive. However, if I went back, I'd probably just select like one or two items rather than getting a huge sampler plate. The beef rib was amazing. It just fell right off of the bone. It was so good. But beef ribs, that was the most expensive. I think it was like $95 just for the beef rib. Or $65, I think, for just the beef rib. Yeah, 65, I think it was. So anyway, the hidden... Well, first of all, it's a stunning, deeply moving valley city where east meets west in the Balkan Mountains. The hidden history here is Sarajevo is a living history book. Walk across the Latin Bridge, the exact spot where Archduke Franz Ferdinand was assassinated, that sparked World War I. Sparked World War I. Which is crazy. The assassination of a duke sparked World War I. But here we are. I'll try and keep up, Mike. However, England are playing in New York. Come on, England. John, what's up, brother? Yeah, come on, England. They're playing in New York. If England makes it to Miami, then I have to go. I have had such a time trying to pick who to root for in this World Cup. It has been... I had a lot of love for Scotland. Unfortunately, they're out now. The Scottish people, when they came here, were just absolutely amazing people. I rooted for Australia until they played the U.S. Now I'm still rooting for Australia. I was going back and forth with my mate Mike about the Australia-USA game. Got a little love for Ghana because of my friend Aziz, who's from Guyana. England because of John and and Morgan, who are from England. South Africa because of my friends from South Africa, Neil and Cobus and Charlene and those guys. I don't know. It's like I've just had so many teams that I've been rooting for. Just because. In Spain, because, I walked the Camino in Spain twice. I spent so much time in Spain, so when Spain plays, I'm rooting for Spain. But it's been an exciting, however difficult time for me watching the World Cup. And sometimes I'll watch teams that I don't really have any interest in, but it's just interesting to watch them play, like Iraq or Iran or Cabo. What is it? Cabo. I can't think of them, but what a story there with them. Cabo. I forget, but they ended up making it into the round of 32 or whatever. That was amazing. All of a sudden, I forgot their name, but they're like the underdog of the series right now. So anyway, the hidden history here is Sarajevo is a living history book. Walk across the Latin Bridge, as I said, where Franz Ferdinand was assassinated, sparking World War II. Then head into the mountains to explore the eerie graffiti-covered concrete ruins of the 1984 Olympic bobsled track, completely reclaimed by nature after being used as an artillery position in the 1990s siege. So it's kind of cool because I was actually at an old Olympic Stadium in Rome as well, the old Roman Olympic Stadium, which was really cool. It wasn't taken over by nature. However, it was a little rundown. They had a huge tennis arena there where Major League Tennis or whatever it plays. But it was super cool. So it would be kind of neat to go to Sarajevo and see that. I actually watched that Olympic Games when I was a kid. In '84, I was like 13 years old in Sarajevo. I remember watching the bobsledding because I really enjoy bobsledding on the Winter Olympics. So it's kind of eerie that, I was 13, 14 years old when that went off. And 6 years later, they were in a war. The daily budget here will cost you about $40 to $65 a day. Your accommodations will run you about $15 to $25 a night for welcoming hostels or local guest apartments in the historic center of Sarajevo. Your food here will run you about $10 to $15 a day. You can eat cevapi, which is basically grilled seasoned meat, sausages tucked into a fresh pita bread, and savory burek sold by weight in the old market. So burek is, I had it when I was in Slovenia, which was part of that whole war. Slovenia, Slovakia, Yugoslavia, Sarajevo, Bosnia, Herzegovina. It was all part of that old war. But I had burek when I was in Slovenia, and it was delicious. It's basically like a layered sort of pastry, and it has different things stuffed inside of it. The one that I got was like a pizza one, so it had like pizza sauce, mozzarella cheese, and some, I think it was pepperoni or ham or something in there. But it was really good. Now, your drinks here will cost you about $5 to $10 a day. Try traditional copper-potted Bosnian coffee, or enjoy a pint of local Sarajevo pivo, or craft options from local craft microbreweries that they have available. Now, what else to see and do here? Wander the cobblestone streets of the Ottoman-era Baskarska, BAS with a line CARSIJA. Baskarzija. Bazaar. Anyway, tour. Tour the Sarajevo War Tunnel Museum that saved the city during the war, and take the rebuilt cable car Trebevek mountain for a breathtaking panoramic view of the entire city. Rodney. I traveled with Rodney through Rome, and he was calling me through Sorry, Rodney, I will have to contact you back. Rodney's been really trying to get a hold of me lately, apparently. So anyway, yeah, you can catch some really cool panoramic views of the entire city. Yeah, Rodney and I spent a lot of time together in Rome, and he is from El Salvador. Last I heard, he was living in Chicago, but I don't know where he might be now. So in closing, the big takeaway today is simple. Stop waiting in 2-hour lines just to take the same photo as 10,000 other people took. Like me at the Eiffel Tower and various other things. The real magic of travel isn't found on a standard top 10 checklist or a crowded tour bus. It's found when you take a detour. It's found when you take a detour. Take to the locals looking for history hidden right under your feet. So you want to talk to the locals, find out what they know, where to go, because some of these things may not be in the guidebooks. And keep travel light enough to follow where the roads lead. So you don't have to pack a whole lot. You can wash clothes on the go, you can buy things on the go, etc. So anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Drop some of your hometown secrets in the comments below. The sound is gone for me. Currently having a heat wave over here, Mike. Seriously, don't know how you Floridians sleep at night. Can you still hear me? Hopefully you can still hear me. Yeah, I saw the heat wave you guys are having. Even Yoshi was complaining about the other day. And yes, Yoshi was telling me it was upwards of like 100 degrees in Germany yesterday and today. And I told him that's pretty average for here in Florida in the summertime. We'll get high 90s with the real feel of over 100. Last year we had 115, 118. Some of our days were like super hot. The way we get through those days is we just don't go outside very long, and we stay inside with the air con. That's about it. We stay inside with the air con because it's just too hot outside. Like today, being in here, it's been pretty hot. However, it's been overcast and rained a little bit and things like that, so it's not quite as hot as it could have been in here. But it's still hot nevertheless. So, but anyway, drop some of your hometown secrets in the comments. And if you love this episode, please hit the smash the like button, the share button. Share it with your friends and family. Share it on your Facebook page. That would be amazing. And I'll stick around for a few questions if anybody's got any. But support your local breweries, travel light, and keep exploring. So next week's Pint Time would fall on the 4th of July. It is our 250th anniversary here in the United States. Everybody is going to be out partying. A lot of people probably have a 3-day weekend. So I think I'm going to do the show this coming Friday, early in the afternoon, probably like a 2 o'clock sort of thing. Because then Saturday is 4th of July, and then Sunday I'm sure a lot of people are going to be recovering from it, etc. So I will probably do Pint Time on Friday, this Friday, sometime between 1 and 2. We're getting in the high 90s this week. Ah, you sound like us. I think it was like 92 or 94 or something today. A real feel like 101. Uh, Also, just another shameless push. Destination Brews. Check it out. DestinationBrews.com. This is what the bags look like. You can get about 15 to 20 cups of coffee out of this bag. I even have little holes there in the top, as you can see, so you can smell the delicious coffee. I just finished some of the Mexican chocolate coffee, and it was amazing. I also carry coffee with mushrooms in it, and the mushrooms are lion's mane mushroom powder, cordyceps mushroom powder, and reishi mushroom powder. These are all good for for your mind, brain health, and all of that stuff. But I do carry the mushroom coffee, and I carry plenty of teas and merchandise. I don't have the shirt on today. I have my Man What a Day shirt on with the Grim Reaper holding the beer. But you can get shirts, you can get coffee mugs, and you can get other things as well. So, July 4th, Ungrateful Colonial Day. I know, John, I know. When I used to work before I quit to travel the world, I was assistant manager at a company that I won't name. It was a home improvement company, and there was a guy that worked in my flooring department named Neil, and he was from England. And every 4th of July, we had the U.S. flags, up on all the poles throughout the store. And I made it a point, because there was a flag right above there. He was a flooring person, and so there was a flag right above their desk when they were figuring out people's orders and etc. and measurements and whatnot. I would always make it a point to go over to his department and tell him Happy 4th of July, and he would get so mad at me. I mean, not literally, we would just have a good time, but it's pretty funny, yeah. Pretty funny. Way back in 72, 74, something like that. Let's get into this old school Mickey's Big Mouth. Why not? We're just going to fill this out here. Old school Mickey's Big Mouth. Malt liquor. I drank many of these back in the day. They're generally really good when they're really cold. However, this one is not really cold, so it's probably going to be a bit sketchy, but we shall see. Don't spill over. Don't spill over. Gets a big beer head on it, but when it's really cold, it is really good. It has a bit of a bite the warmer it gets. But Mickey's Big Mouth. It's from back in the day. Back in the day. 4th of July, 250 years, John. 250 years. Crazy. John, speaking of, what's going on over there, man? I saw Stormer resigned from the Labor Party. That's kind of crazy. You had 5 prime ministers in the last 2 years. I wish we could switch out leaders like that sometimes. So basically, for those of you who may not know exactly how, and I'm not 100% sure on how English politics works, but I know that it's pretty similar to the Australian politics. And being in Australia as long as I was with my mate Mike, it's basically the people vote on a party. Now, in England and say Australia, there could be 5, 6, 7 different parties or more, and the people vote on a party. So, like the last several years, the people in England have voted for the Labour Party. Then within the Labour Party, the people that are in Parliament for the Labour Party then vote on a leader to represent their party, who then becomes the Prime Minister of the country. Meets with the King or the Queen, in this case the King. And then he represents the country and the party, or she. Like decades ago in the 80s, when we had Reagan and I think Clinton, it was, I forgot her name. I picture her face and her big poofy hair, but it was a female then. But at any rate, the Labour Party can get rid of the Prime Minister that represents them at any specific time, basically, and elect a new person to represent them until the next overall election happens in England or, say, Australia. So, so yeah, the Labour Party got on Stammer, and now Stammer is Margaret Thatcher. That's it. Thank you very much. I thought Margaret Thatcher was pretty good. I mean, I was fairly young then. I really wasn't into politics as much as I am today, but I feel like Margaret Thatcher was pretty solid. But correct me if I'm wrong, John. But I feel like Margaret Thatcher was pretty solid Prime Minister. Oh, this is my hangover in Bangkok video. If you haven't seen this yet, you got to look it up. If you go to my YouTube and you go to playlists and you scroll down, you'll see like funny short films or whatever. And this is one of them that I did. I took video in Thailand, and then after I went to Australia and I went to Hawaii, I shot some video in Hawaii as well and tied it in with the videos that I had in Thailand. As if I got drunk in Thailand and got on a plane somehow and ended up passed out on a beach in Waikiki, Honolulu, Hawaii. Waikiki Beach in Honolulu, Hawaii. Pretty funny video if I do say so myself, but tough as hell. They called her the Iron Lady. All right, Sharon, bye. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate it. Hope you have a good night. Stay cool. Love you too. Yeah, they called her the Iron Lady. She was tough. She was tough. That's for sure. I know she stood up to Reagan on a lot of things, and she stood up to Bush or to Clinton on a lot of things as well. But I believe they joined us in the Yugoslavia campaign. And various other things, but I don't know, mate. Politics these days around the world is not what it used to be when we were younger. Not what it used to be at all. I still would love to do that show that you and I talked about doing. I just got to find time to do it. I have so many irons in the fire, as we say here in the United States. I have so many irons in the fire right now. I'm just trying to determine, like, what irons to keep in the fire and what irons to pull out. But, and now with me doing my live show, and so I'll be brutally honest with you, John. I had to move my live show from my friend Greg's house unexpectedly. And I cleared out a space in one of my storage units. I have 2 storage units. So I cleaned out a space in my storage unit to do my live show every Saturday. That's how dedicated I am to doing Pint Time. So if we did that show, I'd have to come out here every week. So we just have to figure out like what day and all that stuff. And I would just have to plug it into the schedule. Not only that, but I got to get your package out. I've been slowly collecting things to send you, and I pray, not that I'm very religious, but I pray that it all makes it through customs. But I really hope that I can get it to you. It'll probably cost me a fortune, but hopefully I can get it all to you. I got to get your coffee too, John. Yo, Ed! I got to get Ed his coffee too. I just mailed out some coffee the other day to a small influencer on TikTok, that Aaron's Bar, that does coffee reviews and bourbon reviews. And I just sent some stuff to Idaho, which is where he is from, and it cost me like $40. So it will probably cost me that much to get Ed his stuff. And then John, it'll probably cost me double or triple that to get my stuff to you. But that's why I hope that if I send it, it makes it to you. Because you never know with the whole food thing and all that stuff and them scanning it. I just hope it makes it. I was power washing my driveway. Hell yeah. Yo, yo, yo. Daddy, yo, yo. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I'll get it to you, Ed. I think I have some Brazilian coffee at home. I ordered a ton of samples to send out. I went around to a few places here in town to try to get them to carry my coffee. I went to this this place here in town called Food for Thought. It's like a high-end sort of local high-end supplement store where you can get vitamins and herbs and all kinds of stuff. And they started making lunches there and smoothies and everything. And they have this whole coffee and tea section there. So I went yesterday and I met with the owners, the son and the mother of the place, and gave them free samples of my coffee. And the mom said, we don't sell much coffee, we sell more tea, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't know how it's going to go, or if they're going to carry my coffee or not. But if not, maybe they'll at least buy a few bags of my coffee. But I have a huge discount going right now for anybody who wants to buy the coffee. You can use promo code DBAC. DBAC. Or DBGAC, sorry. Yeah, DBGAC, and you'll get 30% off. That is the deepest, lowest discount I can give and still make $1 or $2 off my bag of coffee. So here's the situation with the coffee. Just so anybody who's inquiring about it, if you've gone to the website and you said, oh, that coffee's expensive. There's 2 reasons why my coffee is expensive. For one, it's not a basic coffee. It's not a Maxwell House, a Folgers, Costello, or whatever. It's not like that. It is single origin coffee, which means that my roasters, in Temecula, California, Temecula roasters, and the old Chicago coffee company roasting division in Chicago order my beans in from around the world raw. So they order them from Africa, they order them from Central America, they order them from South America, MITs. They order them from Southeast Asia. They order them from India, various places. And they have it brought to them. They roast those beans in-house in the United States, and then they ship them out to you. So they're not pre-roasted. They're roasted to order. I'm dealing with tariffs right now in the United States, thanks to our current administration. So the tariffs are tacking on extra prices for those. And single origin coffees are generally more expensive because it is a more pure form of coffee. Some people ask, why is single origin so expensive? Because single origin is hand-picked by the farmers. They hand-pick the right berries. They separate them all. They put them in a specific bag, and then they ship them off. So there's a lot of tedious work that goes on when it comes to single origin premium coffee brands. And they ship them off. So when my roasters get the beans, they aren't roasted. They're just a raw coffee bean from a coffee bean tree, basically. And so they roast those. They have to pay the tariff cost to bring those in, etc., which increases the price. But they roast them here in the United States, and then they ship them out to you within 3 to 5 business days generally. Sometimes it depends. If you're on the East Coast and you ordered something that's coming from my Temecula coffee roasters, then it may take 5 to 7 business days. My merchandise is sent by Printful, and some of their costs have gone up because of tariffs. However, my margin on that is a lot better than it is on my coffee. So I have dropped some of those prices significantly. Like the shirts that I sell, I think I only make $5 off of the shirts. So I can cut some of those costs down significantly. But my coffee brand, I generally run around a 30%, 30 to 32% margin on them. Mostly because I'm running this ad for 30% off. So you could buy a coffee where you get 30% off, and I make 1 to 2% off of it. But anyway, it's premium single origin roasted coffee, ordered straight from the country, roasted here in the United States, and then shipped to you. And the teas are the same. My roasters get the raw tea. They dry it themselves. They package it themselves. And then this is what the packages come out like. So out of this package here, it's a 12-ounce package. You'll get 15 to 20 bags of coffee. I have a hole right there that lets air out, so you can smell the coffee. This is a turtle, so it comes across as like the turtle, candy. And then I also have coffee with mushrooms in it, the lion's mane, cordyceps, and reishi mushroom. And you can smell those as well through the little hole that's provided up there. So it comes out to about $24.99 for a 12-ounce bag of premium roast single origin coffee. Have you tried Ritz toasted chips? Try the sour cream and onion ranch or buffalo. As long as it's not D-bag. D-bag. I give you the D-bag, Ed. I have not tried those roasted or Ritz toasted chips yet. Sour cream and onion and ranch are the best. I'm gonna have to try those. I will try those for sure. I will look for them next time I go to the store. I will look for them. I'll do a TikTok on it. I've been uploading some of my TikTok drink reviews to my YouTube, and they've been doing really well, actually, like 700, 800 views on the shorts. So, pretty interesting. But yeah. Ooh, it is hot in here. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to try those. I will remember those. Ritz chips. Are they like Ritz Crisps or something like that? Ritz Crisps. I will have to check them out. Great with a Heineken. I'll have to remember that. Hey, Ed, I got these new Heineken NAs that are actually really good. These Heineken NAs are tangerine and juniper berries and toasted chips. All right, I'll have to check them out. And I'll get a Heineken with them. I'll do a Heineken with the chips. But yeah, I got this new Heineken NA that was actually really good. It was tangerine and juniper, and it tasted like a regular old Heineken, which is kind of crazy. But with tangerine and juniper in it. So I really enjoyed it. I did a TikTok on it the other day, and it was really good. I will definitely get those again. They're a little pricey. It's like, I don't know, $12 for a 6-pack, so $13 or so. So it's, $2 or something for a 6-pack, but or for a bottle, I meant. But it's still, it's still really good. See, lots of times I just enjoy the flavor of the beer and not necessarily, the buzz from it. Like, I don't necessarily drink beer to get drunk or drink beer for the buzz. I drink beer because of the flavor, because I really enjoy the flavor of it. So that's why I usually get a bunch of different NAs, and I try a few of them, and the ones I like when they're on sale, I get them again. But yeah, it's I really enjoy some of the NAs for sure. So, but yeah, I'll definitely have to check out those chips. These damn rich crackers, you'll end up eating the whole bag. I can imagine. I'm definitely going to have to check them out. I probably won't be able to find those at like Dollar General here, but I'll have to see if I can't find them at Publix or something. I'll probably carry them, I would assume. Oh, but Ed, since you're on, I did find these Brazilian style garlic sauce, Lay's chips. I tried them for a TikTok, and they are super garlicky, by the way. It almost tastes like a garlic mayonnaise sauce with a little lemon zest on the finish. But they're actually really good. However, I couldn't eat a whole bunch of these. They're just too rich, I think. I think they're just too rich for me. They have them everywhere. All right, I'm gonna definitely look for them. Maybe I'll do a TikTok on them or tomorrow, and then I'll upload them to my Facebook. Because I know a lot of people don't have TikTok, so. My wife cooks everything with garlic. Yeah, garlic is like that's like a mainstay when it comes to, I think that's part of the Trinity, right? Garlic, onions, celery, carrots, I think is like the holy trinity of spices. Um, but yeah, the Brazilian garlic sauce is really strong. It's really strong. At least from those chips. Anyway, your wife may love those chips. I just know I ate a few chips for my TikTok, and I mean, it took me forever to get that taste out of my mouth of the garlic. It was pretty strong. So, but yeah, I enjoyed them. They would be good with a dip, I think, or maybe some tzatziki or something like that, something creamy that would kind of work with the garlic flavor in them. I shot this video here in Canton, Ohio, where my sister and brother-in-law used to have a business, Kepco Fabrication. And I shot this video in like 2019, I think it was. And then I lost my sister, Sherry, who's at the very end of this. I lost her in 2021 to cancer. So sometimes when I see this video, it kind of hits me. Lost my sister in 21, lost my dad in 25. That's me standing outside of the McKinley Monument. McKinley was one of our presidents. That's me standing outside the McKinley Monument. It's right behind my head here in Canton, Ohio. Which I'll be heading up to Canton to go to my dad's. That was my sister right there. To go to my dad's. That's my sister Sherry right there. Lost her in 2021 to cancer. But Kim and I will be heading up to Ohio in July for my dad's 1 year of him passing away on July 19th. Like I said before, that this week's show is going to be pushed up till Friday because 4th of July is Saturday. And then when I'm in Ohio, I will be up there for a Saturday, and I don't know how I'm gonna be to do a show that Saturday, but maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I'll bring my stuff with me just in case, but I know Kim was asking me about last night, and I just don't know. I'll be honest with you guys, like it's been a bit of a roller coaster since Dad passed away, to be honest. Some days I'm really good, and other days I'm down for the day, man. Down for the day. Yeah, those pictures I used to take with my dad. Well, some of the more recent pictures when he was, fighting the dementia and stuff and not walking, and I had to pick him up all the time and all of that stuff. Uh, but every day we went out, and I got him in the car, and we went out to places, and he got to see things and invigorate his mind. I always took pictures of us, and so the one I shared today or yesterday was one of those times, and just crazy to think the one I just recently shared, like 3 weeks later, he was dead. After doing this show, I walk out and find him dead in the recliner. Sometimes he would come in and join me on the show, or you guys would hear him yell, "Yo!" on the show, which, Ed, I appreciate you always saying, "Yo, yo, yo," when you come in, because I miss hearing "yo" from him. At times it would drive me crazy, but I knew there would come a day when I missed it. And these days are the days, brother. These days are the days that I miss it. Probably not doing much for the 4th, actually, because Kim's got to work on the 4th. We've got a couple. Thanks for the hearts, man. I appreciate it. Kim's got to work on the 4th, and I feel like everybody's got to work on the 4th. But there is a few places that we can go and at least see fireworks and stuff like that, like the Friday before and all that stuff. So I'd probably have to do the show Friday, and then go see fireworks on Friday. And then Saturday would be the downtown Sebring fireworks, but everybody's got to work. So I don't know. I don't know if I'll go down there by myself or not, but no huge plans for the 4th. No huge plans for the 4th. So this is where I wish I had more beer to drink, but I don't have more beer to drink. I done drank it all. Guess I started that again. What are you doing for the 4th, Ed? Anything exciting? Oh, Sherry, I miss you. Sherry was one of my go-to sisters. I'd always call her with things I was going through, and she would always give me advice. Same here, nada. It's going to be in the high 90s. Oh, boy. I don't know what it's going to be here. I'd have to look it up, but I'm sure it's going to be hot. It's been super hot here in Florida lately. Absolutely. I mean, just unbelievably hot. We get high 90s with a real feel of 104, 105, 106. It's just been super mad hot. So, super mad hot. So yeah, I don't know if I'm doing anything on that Saturday. Honestly, I'll do the show. I'll do the show on Friday. is my plan right now. I'll do the show on Friday. Oh, and by the way, next week's episode on Friday, which now that we pretty much lost everybody, I think, except for Ed and maybe John's still on, I don't know. But next week's episode, by the way, is going to be rail travel and pubs. So I'm going to talk about train trips that you could take. One of them here in the United States in Maine, but several train trips that you can take around the world that you can also visit old breweries for a pint or some other cities along the way. So that will be next week's episode. Rail and brews next week, basically. Rail and brews. I also tested my vlogging camera today. For those of you who may not know, I'm going to end up going to my vlogging camera. This is my new vlogging camera, by the way. I'm going to use this to film my travel videos and other things also. But this thing is going to have to sit pretty far away from where I'm sitting to fit everything in on the set, because it will be vertical basically now. And so I have to figure all of that out. But it has its own microphone. This actually plugs in the back of the microphone right here. And I will be using this to shoot my travel videos as well, coming up shortly within the next month or two. So, plus, I ended up digging up my lavalier mics. So I will be using those as well. And I have to work a little bit more with my follow me drone. So now I have two drones. I have a follow me drone, and then I have my my other drone, which is the one I shot this with, actually, DJI Spark. So I will be using both of those drones, and I have not flown the DJI Spark since forever ago. So I have to get that back out. I'll probably do all that tomorrow. But anyway, I plan on doing the show a different way, and when I do that, I am going to start doing more YouTube live. So you guys will be able to jump on the YouTube live rather than Facebook live. Cool. I wish it was cool right now. I really wish it was cool. So at the end of the show, I'll give you guys a bit of a inside look at the studio here. Kind of like what I'm dealing with now that I've moved it into my storage unit. And I'm going to be utilizing this side of the... I will be utilizing this side of the studio as well. That's a picture of my family. This was my mother. This is me when I was like 5 or 4. And that's my dad when he was in it about my age. And my sister Robin, who I just met over at the beach. My sister Sherry, I lost at 21. And my brother David lives over in Tampa. And this is where I'm at in the studio. I have a fan down here that I'm literally having blown on me because it's so hot. And this is my storage unit. And my laptop. And my setup. So, this is where I am. And it's pretty hot sometimes. However, now it's getting a little bit cool. And then, unfortunately, my light broke off because one of the boxes fell, which it looks like that box might be falling as well. And it broke it off. So, but it still works, so it's up there. It's still providing decent light. So, I'm going to continue on with it. But there you go. There's Pint Time is now being done in a storage unit. And sometimes it's really hot in here, which is why I postponed it last Saturday for Sunday, because it was storming outside. There was lightning, and last thing I want to do is be in a metal cage when there's lightning coming down. So, there you have it. Also, if you haven't tried these honey roasted pistachios yet, they are amazing. Especially when you're drinking beer. Alright guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Time for me to pack stuff up and get on out of here. I'm all out of beer and all I got is vitamin water, so. Anyway, thank you guys so much, man. I truly appreciate you guys jumping on. Ed, thank you always. You're awesome. I truly appreciate it. And we have to hook up soon. I am desperately looking for a travel van so I don't have to pay crazy hotel prices when I road trip around the U.S. I'll just be able to stay right in my travel van or my small RV. But at either rate, I've got to get up there to see you. Or when you come down here next time, I will absolutely 100% be able to catch up with you. So that would be awesome. Anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I truly appreciate it. As always, peace, love, and let's continue to experience this beautiful together. I'll see you guys next Friday for the show. And I will be on somewhere between like 1 and 2 o'clock on Friday. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. As always, for the support. Peace.